Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. In today's video I have the Genshin Impact version 3.7 phase 1 test runs. And I'm going to start with Yunjin, and with Yunjin I'm actually going to demonstrate the build that I have, which is a little bit different than what the test runs have. Most significantly is going to be her weapon choice. With my build, I used the Favonius Lance. The test run is using the prototype Star Glitter. There are some minute differences between the two. Go ahead and put them both on the screen so that you can see them side by side. Now I know I'm going to be in the way of the numbers for the prototype Star Glitter, but it's not fully leveled up, so it doesn't really matter. Be apples and oranges. But when looking at the main stats, the Favonius Lance is going to have a better base attack. Prototype Star Glitter is going to have a better energy recharge, which, considering that Yunjin doesn't really need base attack, would make you believe that the Prototype Star Glitter might be the better option of the two. And it probably could. But if you look at the passive for the Prototype Star Glitter really doesn't matter for Yunjin. It might as well not be there, which the good thing about that is that a Refinement 1 prototype Star Glitter will work just as well as a Refinement Rank 5. The Favonius Lance on the other side will generate elemental particles with the passive. You do need to give her some crit rate so that will actually do something, or you could just ignore it, and then you might as well have the prototype Star Glitter. So, what I did with her artifact set was I got her up to a crit rate of 50%. And that way, half the time it will work, half the time it won't. That seems to work just fine. Now, as far as her artifact sets, we both agreed it's the 4-piece Husk of Opulent Dreams. Mostly, the two biggest things that she needs are defense and energy recharge. And defense might as well be two things. She needs defense, and energy recharge. So keep that in mind when you're making her. Go ahead and when you get her artifact set, you can go for a defensive sands, defensive goblet, defensive circlet. Give her as much defense as you possibly can. Give her some ER, and you're good to go. So this is the Court of Flowing Sands in Inazuma. This is the one where you get the weapon ascension materials from. So one last thing, I guess, before I begin, almost forgot to do to go through her talents. Normal attack, wouldn't worry about that. It's pretty much the same thing as normal. Her elemental skill, I like to do the hold, which basically it takes a little bit of time. It does she does shield while she's doing it, but then it releases a geo damage burst, which actually works pretty good. So I really would go for the charge damage rather than the press damage if you're going to use her skill. Now her burst is probably her more important thing, and that is her the flying cloud flag formation. There's so many things that are hard to say if you don't say it slowly. So when the normal attack damage is dealt to opponents, bonus damage is dealt based on her current defense. So if her defense is pretty high, that's a lot of additional damage that's done. Now the flying cloud flag formation doesn't have to be specifically on her. You can cast it and then switch it to someone else. When I usually do that, I usually cast the flying flag formation on her. Then I switch to Noelle and use her skill on burst, and then make things dead. That's how it works. Let's see if it actually works when I'm demonstrating it. So there's the elemental skill right there. That did quite a bit of damage considering that she really doesn't have a lot of attack. Do it again.
Flags up. Observe.
Just like that. So now let's go ahead and do the burst and switch it to Noelle.
As a good knight should.
And just make stuff go away. Now I know these are just electro slimes, not really that impressive per se, but these mini-trolls will be a...
Leave it all to me. Time to clean up.
They're pretty much dead anyway, so... Alright, well that's my version of the test run. Do I really need weapon ascension materials right now? Oh, let's do it anyway. What could possibly go wrong? Condensed resin, sure. Not too bad. Okay. Well, anyway, that was my demonstration of Yunjin, place of the test run for that character. But I'm going to do the test runs for the remaining 4-star characters next. Then I'll do the 5-star characters, and then as an added bonus for this video, I'm going to do some pulls at the end of the video, and I'll explain what I'm pulling for and why when we get to that part. So if you like to watch people pull and not get what they want, then stay tuned. Okay, so who should we do next? Well, I'm going to save Kirara for the last of the 4-star characters, so I'll do Chongyun next. Now, Chongyun is one of those characters that his skill creates an aura which then infuses other characters' normal attacks with cryo. So it is. Some people really like Chongyun and use him all the time. Other people hate him. He's paired with Xiangling, which not what I would have done. But considering that he would infuse Xiangling's polearm with cryo, that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Okay, what does he have? Royal Greatsword. Almost never see anyone in trials with royal weapon. Upon damaging opponents, increase crit rate by 8%. Sure, why not? 4-piece Blizzard Strayer is oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't think I would have gone with 4-piece Blizzard Strayer. I mean, yes, it depends on how you're going to use them. This test run already seems to be all over the place. Okay, let's go over his talents. Normal attack is normal attack. Started to talk a little bit about his skill. It strikes the ground with his greatsword, deals AoE cryo damage, and then creates the frost field, which would infuse sword, claymore, and polearm characters with cryo. I don't know why you'd want to do that to Xiangling, but okay. Performing the burst, performing secret hand seals, Chongyun summons 3 giant spirit blades in midair, fall to the earth one after one, and they do AoE damage. Okay, what stats did they give him? Crit rate they gave him is too high, particularly since they're giving him a 4-piece Blizzard Strayer. 4-piece Blizzard Strayer will almost cap that. So I don't know. This is kind of well. Let's see how this works. They're giving me Hydro characters, which is probably going to be. I think this would work a little bit better. Yeah, I mean it is casting frozen on the. Okay, let's do this again, I suppose. So yeah, when his elemental skill is in place, then he can do cryo damage. Sure, why not? Maybe they just put Shangling in there, so if you get bored of him, you can just switch to Shangling and make everything else go away. Hydro this mage.
Spirit Blade, attack!
Sure, this will be. I mean, it is working, I guess. I feel like this wasn't the best test for Chongyun. Gonna work though. Didn't even need to put Shangling in. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that test run is going to change anyone's opinion on Chongyun. I what would I have done differently? I guess maybe a noblesse. Um, so they tend to use him with sometimes with the national team, and then Bennett usually has noblesse. God, there's got to be a lot of things better than the four-piece Blizzard Strayer. I just don't think that works. Um, Maybe physical damage would work better. Something like Blood Tainted two-piece or the Pale Flame two-piece. Give that side a little, maybe one of those plus Blizzard Strayer, so he gets a little bit of physical damage and a little bit of cryo damage. I don't know. If you've built Chongyun, put in the comments what you use, because I'm kind of stumped on that one. Okay, we're going to do Kirara next, I guess. So this is the first time I'm going to be looking at Kirara. I probably should have read up on her before I started the video, but I'm sure things will fall into place. I have absolutely no idea what they're going to do with her. So let's go ahead and look at her talents. Well, who is she? So she's with Fischl and Barbara. So, okay. Let's take a look at the talents first. The normal attack is a normal attack. Meowter kick. Great puns. Okay. Press leaps into the air with the agility of a cat passing through the bushes and thwacks her foes with a flying kick that deals AoE dendro damage while creating a shield of safe transport. Scaled on HP? Yeah. Okay. This will also briefly apply dendro to Kirara. Shield will absorb dendro damage with 250% effectiveness. How shields work. Shield's damage absorption will be based on her maximum HP and will not exceed a certain percentage of that maximum HP. The remaining damage absorption on a shield of safe transport will stack on a new one when it's created, and its duration will be reset. Okay, so it's a stable shield, not one that's just okay. But what does the hold do? Out of her desire to deliver within a half a day, Kirara deploys a shield of safe transport identical to the one that can be created by pressing. She'll also curl up into a special express delivery box and enter an urgent Neko parcel state in order to move and fight more swiftly. Okay. Urgent Neko parcel deals dendro damage to opponents she crashes into. The effect can be triggered once on each opponent every 0.5 seconds. When in the state, Kirara's movement speed, climbing speed, and jumping power are all increased, and her stamina consumption from climbing is increased. Her speed and jumping power are increased, and her stamina consumption is increased. Okay, so she burns through stamina when she's in that state. Um, okay, that's interesting. When the duration ends or the skill is used again, a flip claw strike more powerful than the attack in the press mode will be unleashed, dealing AoE dendro damage. Urgent Neko partial state lasts a maximum of 10 seconds. When the state ends, the skill will enter cooldown. The longer she was in the state, the longer the cooldown will be. Sprinting or actively canceling climbing will end the state. Okay. So the flying kick damage is kind of okay. I don't know what I think about that. I mean, the additional burning through the stamina is a bit of a detriment, though. So okay. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and look at the burst. Smash opponents with a special delivery package used for punishing parcel thief, dealing AoE dendro damage. After the special delivery package explodes, it will split up into many catgrass cardamoms, so not dendro cores. They'll explode upon either contact with opponents or after a period of time. Okay. Energy cost 60, so not particularly high. Okay. And what'd they give her? Extremely low crit rate. Kind of went maybe a little bit high in energy recharge. No particular damage bonuses. Didn't go particularly high on EM, but that's not a surprise. Her attack is not particularly high. Okay, what did they use? Livonia's sword. So that's where some of her energy recharge came from. And her artifacts, double HP. So tenacity, 2-piece, glow, 2-piece. So they really built this around her shield, being as chunky as possible. Well, yeah, that's where all the stats seem to go to, HP. Okay, I don't know about this. Okay, let's give it a try and see what happens. I think this is what everyone wanted to try out first. Doesn't do a... Okay, are these cores gonna do much? Did quite a bit. The shield lasted quite a while too. Shield lasted almost long enough to just cast another one right off the bat. Okay, that was pretty good. I mean, it's working better than I thought it would, just by reading through everything. And I'm not even using any of the other characters. Let's try this. That seems to work pretty good. Okay. Okay. So my first thoughts wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But then after I played the test run, I feel like it was a little bit better than I thought it would be. Would I pull right now specifically for Kirara? I don't think so. I probably should be thinking about getting more Dendro characters because I only have 3 at the moment, and that's 3 including the Traveler. Um, the other 2 being Kale and Ida. So I probably shouldn't be dismissing her outright, but she's a 4-star character. I'm sure I could get her down the road if I needed to. So let's test run Yoimiya next. Um, tell you right now, I've test run Yoimiya before. Not particularly high on her, mostly because I have Amber built at level 90 with an Amos bow and a decent artifact set, which I probably could update. Um, so I look at Yoimiya and thinking to myself, is Yoimiya that good? I'd want to go build a brand new character just to make someone who's definitively better than Amber. I mean, she is better than Amber. Period. End of story. But how much better is she than Amber? So I think that's the thing. So her normal attack is her normal attack. Her charged attack has 2 different charges, so that's something to keep in mind. Her elemental skill, during this time, arrows fired by Yoimiya's normal attack will be blazing arrows, and their damage will be increased and converted to pyro damage. So that's that way. You don't actually have. So with her skill, you don't actually have to charge her attack to her normal attack to do pyro damage. Just do it with her with inside the skill, basically. Um, During this time, normal attack firework flare up will not generate kindling arrows at charge level 2, because that's probably what they're making is probably better. 150.8% normal attack damage at level 8. Okay, not too bad. And all normal and for a burst creates the Aurora's Blaze, which all normal charged plunging attacks, elemental skills, elemental bursts by any party member other than Yoimiya that hit an opponent marked with Aurora's Blaze will trigger an explosive. Okay, I missed the first part. So she jumps into the air, fires forth blazing rockets bursting with surprises that deal AoE pyro damage and mark one. Okay, so it marks one of the hit opponents with the blaze. And then if you hit that character, it does more damage. All right, got it. Doesn't scale off anything in particular. Energy costs 60, so again, not particularly high. So I wouldn't automatically assume we'll be going for ESF. That is a realistic crit rate for a build where you're going to be focused just on the weak spots. Decent amount of pyro damage. Okay, ER, but you build her around being a DPS. So okay, so she's obviously got her bow, which is a crit damage bow. There are some other crit damage bows out there you can use if you don't have her, if you don't get her bow, and you want to leave it open to get her bow. 4-piece Shimenawa. Casting an elemental skill, if the character has 15 or more energy, they lose 15 and then gain more. Yeah, sure. Would be either this or Crimson Witch, I guess. This one's probably okay though. I would be okay with this. Okay. Now that we've done all that,
Time for a light show.
you can see that with the skill active, she's actually shooting pyro arrows. Now she's not because it's on cooldown, but let's let it start up again.
Fire hazard.
I could didn't dodge that one too well. Okay, so when okay, maybe now's the time to try something different.
Let me weave you a verse.
Well, okay, that's the. You can see the slime is the one that was targeted with her burst.
Body and mind. Break a leg.
Okay. They didn't give us much as far as healing, except for Bennett. Yes.
Here comes the fireworks.
Pretty much everyone's favorite healer. Most people's favorite healer. I still think Barbara's the best healer in the game. Her attack is very limited, but
Time to act.
now it's time to. Okay, a little bit too close. Now it's shielding its weak spot for now.
That didn't count.
Okay. Well.
Let's light it up. Everybody stand back.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No, my sword.
Okay, this is interesting. I again I see why people like her. I just don't think that her delta is that much better from Amber. I feel like I'd need to play roughly the same way. The skill is pretty good. I would say that. The burst I could do without. I'd rather. I think Yoimiya's skill is better than Amber's. I think Amber's burst is better than Yoimiya's. So, um, and considering that I would never need more than one of them at any given time, I probably would just stick with Amber. Now I know some people like Yoimiya as a character better than I do. Some people hate Amber as a character, or I don't. So they're to each their own. Um, but yeah, I would say for me personally, not a character I'm particularly interested in. So now we go to Yaimiko. Yaimiko, the thing that works against me and wanting to get her in my team is I have lot a lot of electro characters right now. I mean a lot. So let's take a look at her talents. Normal attack, pretty much. Once you take the fluff out of it, it's pretty much any normal attack for any um, catalyst user. So this one is interesting. The skill, she basically creates three um, turrets, and they do electro damage. I know you've been hearing me talk for quite a while, so I'll kind of skip through some of this. And of course, we've seen her before on many different test runs before. And then her burst does AoE electro damage. Was her burst cost? Oh, great, 90. Well, so that's a lot of energy. Might be possible to do it without ESF, but only if Raiden is on her team with either engulfing lightning or to catch. I'd guess. Okay, sure. Well, her catalyst is a crit damage catalyst, so if you don't get this one, you could get the Blackcliff one that's in the store right now. They build her. That's a pretty good crit. That they gave her a lot of crit compared to what they normally do. That energy recharge, I don't think is gonna get the job done unless she's with Raiden. That's not gonna be enough. Plenty of electro damage bonus. That's pretty good. So they go a Thundering Fury, 2-piece Thundering Fury, 2-piece Shimenawa. Okay, this has been kind of more of the trendy pick of building an electro DPS than just going with the 4-piece Thundering Fury. I get that. I don't know if I. All right. Well, who did they put her with? Put her with Kale and Barbara. What are not that you needed a lot of. So decently high EM for Kale. So she can basically do some elemental reactions off of what she sets up. Okay, let's give this a try.
Come on out. Right now. Right here.
Okay, so it's basically a 3 press rather than a hold. That's why I was trying to remember from previously. It worked pretty good. They stuck around for quite a while. So let's try that again.
Right now, emerge.
Now let's switch to the Kale. We're calling Amber out. Yeah, you see that's really doing a lot. Okay. I've been trying to hit down to pull Barbara out, but of course she's
Nothing lasts
on
forever.
different arrow than normal. Okay, well this is pretty much over.
Show them. Right now. Right here.
Okay. Let's just make it over. Yeah, not bad. I could probably figure that out. But I really think if you're going to go with that artifact set, if you want that burst to keep coming back, you're going to need to have another Electro on your team. Doesn't have to be Raiden. It could be another Electro character with a high ER, but for me that would be Raiden because that's what I Okay, so anyway, that was all 5 of them. And so hopefully there may be some of you that stuck around long enough to see the banners. So overall, the weapon banner. I mean, the weapon banner is the weapon banner. It's not something I would mess around with myself for this one, because I don't really feel like I need either of these 2 5-star weapons. And I typically only take my chances with the 5-star weapon banner if I could be happy with either one of these. But since I'm not, I'm just gonna leave it alone. The 4-star weapons, Rust would be a decent alternative for Yoimiya because it boosts her normal attack. So if you're basically doing pyro damage with her normal attack inside the skill, then rust would probably be a really good weapon for her. It just doesn't translate well to getting her 5-star weapon if you get down the road. You'd have to redo your artifact set to do that. Witsith is a weapon I'm considering using on Nahida right now. I keep going between that and an EM catalyst, but the Witsith for Nahida might be the best use of the Witsith. So Dragon's Bane, I see that on pole arms every once in a while. The Alkomaru I have currently on Beto. Made it really hard to build her. If I was doing Beto's artifact set all over again, I would have just given her a crit, play more. And the flute, I think some people use the flute. I don't usually see a lot of people talking about the flute being a weapon that they particularly like. Some people do. So yeah, there are some 4-star weapons down here if you were going for it. Like I said, unless you could be happy with either one of these, I would just skip it. And I'm going to skip the weapon banner, of course. So, what I really want to do with the character banner is I have Yunjin at C5. And at C6, her elemental burst gives an attack speed boost. And considering that I'm usually using her either to boost Noelle or boost Ito, that would be a pretty good thing because you're boosting the speed of a catalyst or not catalyst, a claymore user. Um, so I believe my pity is 9, right? Which means I shouldn't be knocking on the door of a 5-star pull. And neither one of these really. I feel like between the two, I think I could get either one to work eventually. I think that considering that I already have Raiden Shogun, I have her at C0, but I do have her weapon. Feel like I could pair her with Yaimiko, and that would probably work. I think that's the only way I could ever get anything out of Yaimiko. So I think we'll go with that. So let me put my counters on the screen with Yaimiko. But I'm only going to go as far as getting C6 for Yunjin, and I'm going to go for 6, 10 pulls, and if I don't get anything by then, gonna I'm gonna wait and think about things because if I get a 5-star pull now, that might hurt me for the next banner. But I'm a big fan of if you've got something that can help you now, get it now. So let's go ahead and try the first 10-star. 10, it's a 4, so that's good. Right now, I don't want to see any 5-star. If I can get Yunjin early, that would be great. That's Chongyun. That takes him to 3. Anything else? Well, there you go. It's all over already. Well, I was gonna go. I thought it was gonna make me go a long ways. When I saw Chongyun, I thought, yeah, of course they're gonna make me go through Chongyun to get to you. But that was overall painless. And now I'm done with this banner. So, all right. Well, that was fun. Hope you had fun too. If you did, consider leaving a like for this video. Consider subscribing to this channel and following me on Twitter or Twitch. I am not on Twitter. Never have been, never will be. And follow me on Twitch, though, because I stream twice a week on Genshin Impact. And want to leave me a comment, talk about how I don't know the difference between Twitch and Twitter. Tell me why I did well. Tell me why I could improve on, and all that stuff. I overall, I had a lot of fun doing this. I will be doing the phase 2 test runs when they come out, but there's got to be a lot of videos I need to do between now and then. Hopefully, I'll see you next time.